Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a completed pages video and I have June and July's completed pages for you guys here. As I'm sure a lot of you guys do, I just love seeing everyone's completed works. I've started doing a couple of months at a time now because I don't generally get through that many, but I do have quite a few pictures here to show you guys because of the thing I've just started redoing. There is a little bit of a quicker colouring technique, so let's get into it, get started and crackle on. I have left my my colouring diary downstairs and my dogs are guarding the gate, so I'm too lazy to go disturb them again, so I'm just gonna muddle on along without it and see if I can remember what I've used where. I do have the new Wildflower Folk by Christine Caron, the beautiful new sets of book that she's releasing now. I have the next one and the one after it pre-ordered in this new Blue Angel publishing format, and I did really want to get a page done in here, and I added it to my colouring plans for summer, and I did actually manage to get a page done, and I am so pleased I did. I really enjoyed doing this. It's Prismacolour because I have found that they work really well on this paper, and sometimes it can be a little bit of a struggle, although this paper feels a bit smoother than the Jasmine Beckett Griffith one. My skin's a little bit pale because I do struggle with skin even after all this time. I really do, but I love the way she came out. So she's the Free Spirit page. I kept it nice and simple, just pink and purple skin with the brown hair. Matched her eyes to her outfit because why not? If you had lilac eyes, you'd probably wear lilac as well. And I just really love how she turned out. My dogs keep hearing tapping outside and they think someone's at the door, so they are constantly barking at the moment. So that is that page that I got done in there. I also did manage to get another one of this was from my spring colouring plans. It was the page I hadn't quite managed to finish. It was a whip last time, and I did manage to finish this page off at least. And I actually really love how this turned out. So this is the Matchstick Mouse Summer. Absolutely adore these books. Pencil wise, I'm not sure. It's an Ohuhu marker base, pretty much as always on Amazon print paper. And then pencils, I'm not actually sure. Can't remember what pencils I used, but they did turn out beautiful. I've just white outlined my clouds. I'm really sorry, ignore the blue paint all over me. I'm covered in paint at the minute. And I did use Amberley's technique. I watched her colouring the Matchstick Mouse video over on Amberley's Colour Ventures. I'll link her channel down below, and she really helped me work on that fluffy texture appearance of my mouse that had been bothering me for a while. So that has got the ARRTX acrylic brush paint pens over the pencil as well. Kind of love how she kind of looks a little bit middle-aged in this. I've gone for a grey mouse where I always do a brown because I've just really been wanting to do grey, but with some of the paler ARRTX that I've added, she is looking a little bit wizened. But do actually really like how she came out. So that is that page done as well. I have got my lights on and yet it feels a little bit dark. Let's just correct that a little bit. And then and I do have a video coming out on these. I have fallen for the Hachette Heroes Disney Coloured by Numbers hard. I used to have some of these years ago and I just couldn't get on board with that the streaky water-based marker look. I just couldn't. I did alright with it until you get to skin, and then I just hated it so bad. And I coloured the worst picture I've ever seen in my life and never went back to it. And then I anyway, I've done a whole story about it in the video. You'll see it all. I promise it will go up. It's filmed, I've edited it, it's uploading, and you'll see it. So I've got a whole load of Hashi Hero books. My haul's gonna be big, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna enjoy the next haul video, that I can promise you. So I got this Petite Prepare because I'll have seen it on the rabbit hole of colouring channels that I've been watching that do these kind of books, and I was very intrigued by the new level of detail in some of the newer Hatchet Heroes books. But this thing is phenomenal. Look at how crazy I had to go. Look at this background. This is all marked in as part of the colour by number. This is what they've designed it to be. This is why I'm covered in paint. Obviously with these, it is a colour by number, so it's just truly relaxing. There's no thinking through a colour palette. Well, except for trying to match these buggers. That can be a little bit difficult. But I'm so impressed with these. And of course, they never used to look like this. How the colouring hobby supplies have moved with the times. They never fail to come out with the thing that you need for the things that you need. And I am truly impressed by these books at the moment, and with the heat and the fact that sometimes I just can't be bothered in between big projects. I have really enjoyed this. This is a 40-page book, and I have successfully completed one of them, and I loved it. Every moment of this was a joy. Another one of the new books I got, Looney Tunes. Again, I got 2 pages done in here. These are, that last page, it was all acrylic paint pens. These are also acrylic paint pens. I got page 1 and 2 done in here. This book's colour match, I was so impressed with the Bugs Bunny colour match. I even wrote this combo down for future use because I was just impressed with myself. That is my Bugs Bunny colour combo forever. She, however, I would not advise doing your hair quite as blue as that. Apart from that, love it, but the hair is a little bit too blue over grey. Sometimes these can be so tricky to match up. So tricky. I don't like to just look in the back, but I'm starting to understand why people do use them for the colour matches. But these colour by numbers, they're so detailed, you know, they're so in depth with the way that they do them. Even the oldest, more simpler ones, although, well, this isn't old, but it is a little bit simpler than some. And yet, look at all those colours. Look at these. Matched them all. Loved doing both of those, both in acrylic paints. I have Posca paint pens, Tooli art paint pens, the Guangna 240 set of paint pens, which is really up to my Hashi Heroes game. The Moonlight paint pens, the Moonlight Jelly Roll gel pens. I've got some of the ARRTX brush paint pens, the ones with the little fins in. Love that set, the set of 36. All of them in a big box that I literally use now to death. And might have ordered something else as well that's on its way, and I will do a video on. Anyway, who? Me? No, I don't know what you're about. I did get this one as well. I got the Smurfs because this was too cute. Like I said, been watching too many videos, and the problem is I buy things. Now, normally I'd always do these books in order. I start at page 1 and I just work my way through because it's the easiest way. And because I'm not checking what they are beforehand, I'm not particularly picking certain pages. But this was the first double page I've come across. This was new to me. This was not a thing when I was Hashi Heroing. And it threw me. It threw me right off. And then I just started on this side instead of this side. I don't even know why. So in this book, I've done page 4. And again, absolutely love how these come out. The details they put into things. These new kind of more scene pages are very cute. They tended to be a lot of portraits back in the day. So really loving this. Again, quite an impressive paint palette. I have been writing down and marking out my paint palette, so if people do these books a lot and they are interested, let me know, and I will share the paint palettes that I've used for these in case they're useful. So yeah, I did that page in that one, and then this is what started this off. So I had 5 of these books ages ago. I had one of the circles book, really don't like those, immediately gave that away. And I had Le Grand Classique Tome 3, Tome 2, the Cats and Kittens book, and the Old Mickey Donald and Co. I did really like them. I loved the Donald, Mickey and Co with the black and white pictures. And, you know, I really liked Tome 2. That's the one I've got a lot of pictures done in, and I will show you that in a moment. But this is the book that killed Hashi Heroes for me. So way back when I did this page, this is the final Hashi Heroes page I ever did, and it was horrendous. The skin was so bad. It was blotchy, it was patchy, it was streaky, and the colours, I could not get colours anywhere near any kind of skin tone with the sets that I had. And it doesn't look amazing now, but it does look better. I have since, when I sat down and I was trying to decide basically whether I was keeping those books, was it time, you know, the ones that I'd coloured in, obviously I wasn't going to sell them, I was going to give them away. And then I sat, and I've not been colouring a whole lot with the he, and I've got all these marker pens, and I don't know. I got to the point where I think I was embarrassed by my colouring page. I wanted to give the book away, because I'm not going to put a book in the bin. It's just, I can't do it. That's beyond me. You can't treat any kind of book that way. But I couldn't give this away to anyone I knew looking like that. So I figured I'd try and fix it. And this was like half coloured and black outlined, and I thought, well, I'll just finish these off so I can give them away. And so I pulled out the markers I had, and I pulled out what I had, and I had a couple of smaller sets that I've had for a while, and I had my massive tooli set, but I wasn't committed yet. So I pulled out a couple of my cheaper, smaller sets, and I fixed it as best I could. And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, and then it dried, and I'm thinking, she looks so much better than she did. So much better. So I thought, right, yeah, great, I'll finish this side off, and I can give that to a human being I know. I don't have to be embarrassed by that. It's fine. I don't have to hide. And I finished this one, and I did her. I think I'd already black outlined it, and I'd done some of her clothes, and I re-went over the clothes, and I did her, and I finished everything off. I used the acrylic paint pens that I had access to. Quite streaky still. I'm still learning, still improving, still hard line. Not the best markers for this kind of thing, and we're still quite happy with the result. Actually really enjoyed myself. And so then sat and did this one. Now, some of the marker pens, and like I said, I've done a full video on this, and it will go up, and you'll see I had some issue with some of the marker pens I was using, the acrylic paint pens. They bled through. There's only one of my brands that I've had that have done that, and I do mention it in that video, and very irritating, quite upset me. Mainly because usually with the acrylic paint pens you can hide that, but I couldn't hide this patch here. And the cheaper pens that I was using, obviously you still can see in the paler colours you're getting a lot of the lines still, and again I was still getting used to it, but I still enjoyed her. And I kind of love how her little outfit came out. And then I sat and I thought, right, okay. And I pulled out some of my other paint pens. I had a deep dive rummage for everything I could find, and I remembered my ARRTX, the 36 brush pens that I had. and I pulled those and I added those into what I was using. And the skin of her is done in those, and the hair, except for the dark brown. That's a tooli art, I think. This sand, I don't like the sand. Again, couldn't get a yellow that was quite smooth and opaque with the sets that I had. But really like how she came out. I think that's the last one I did in here. So yeah, so I got another couple of pages done there, and was really enjoying myself. So I then again went back to my other older book, my Grand Classique Tome 2, which at the time this was one of my favourites. Like way back when, I'd done a few in here. And even with the streaks, like I say, until I hit skin, I like these. I have no problem with these. Some of these, although the colour matches are despicable, I still like these pages. And I started to play in here, and I'd already done a lot of the black outlines. Like I had black outline, black outline, black outline, black outline. I'd done all of these. So I thought, well, you know, I'll finish them off. I made a horrendous mistake in the skin colour and those paint pens that I was having that were blading through that weren't any good. But still, the rest of it looks okay and I'm happy with it. I don't hate it. Like I said, another learning curve. Again, you know, you can see through the pink quite a bit, but I could have put another coat on there if I wanted, but I was happy with it. I did that. And then I did these two. I actually love how these came out. Finding enough browns was tricky till I actually decided to commit to my tooli art and pull those out because they're expensive, but what can you do? I actually really love how he came out. I'd done the pale blue years ago in actual acrylic paint and thought, that is not the life for me. I can't spend that much time. At that point, I might as well be creating a pencil page. So I finished all that off in acrylic paint pen as well. And then I did these two as well. This is possibly my favourite. This is where I kind of hit a plateau. I had some better markers and I was getting the hang of it, like the hang of the bigger spaces and making them look a little bit smoother, less patchy, and committing to it enough that I would go back over a little bit to darken them up and get rid of the pale lines. I absolutely love how these two came out. Too blue. This should have been a paler blue. My bad. My bad. Yeah. I would advise a paler blue. 100%. Love the rabbit. Absolutely love. And then I did these two. So we've got these two Siamese cats. Do really like these. Like how they came out. That was fun. Enjoyed that. And then I did... now, I thought this was the Cheshire Cat at first, but it might not be. Let me check. I don't want to... This is going to be in French, isn't it? Let me see. Page 14. But I don't think he is, but I'm not sure. I don't think he's the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. I don't know who he is. I'm not super up on the whole Disney. Like, I'm pretty sure she's going to be Cinderella. But again, not super. I'm pretty sure that's Cinderella. 70% sure that's Cinderella. I absolutely love how she came out. Again, acrylic marker pens. At this point, I'm using tooli art. My ARRTX 36 set quite a bit still. My Posca paint pens. My Moonlight Jelly Roller into the edition. I use a V5 ballpoint pen. So the pen I use for my black outlines is one of these. This doesn't move when you paint over it either. It's waterproof, so it stays still. Had a couple that didn't. What else? Did I mention the Sakura Jelly Roll Moonlight? I use them for smaller. Sometimes the outlines aren't black, and I use those for things like that. What other sets are in my rotation? I think that's it, to be honest. Posca, tooli art, the guangna, the big guangna. I got the 240 set. I did, and absolute next level. That's when I really started to enjoy these. Finally had the colour matches. Like, it just lets me pull out a full palette. Like, every time I'm managing to find all the colours that I want. I don't think you need 240 colours. I'm not gonna lie, I think that's excessive, but I am absolutely loving it. And I got that one done as well. And yeah, I know, 2 months I did all these. And then out of princesses, I just got one done. And again, usually I always do page 1, but the outline colour on this was a different colour to the black, and I didn't have in a fine liner the specific colour, hence why I've ordered the Langwo gel painting pens. I know, what happened. So I did actually in this book start on page 2. Look at her. Now I do know that that is Snow. That's Snow White, isn't it? Hang on. I'm saying this. I'm sorry, off camera. No spoilers. It is Snow White. I doubted myself then. And I mean, look how detailed these new. Look at all the colours. You wouldn't think there's that many colours in there, but there is. And again, that was so enjoyable to do. All the same log pens. This outline is a Moonlight Jelly Roll, and they're so beautifully smooth. But obviously I only have a little handful of colours, so most of my acrylic paint pens are brush, and they're very difficult to get this kind of line. I need a fine point, you know, like gel pen tape. So I have gone a little bit mad with the Langwo gel pens, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm having so much fun. I've done so many pages. I think I've done like 15 pages this month. I know. And then unfortunately, I have not made any further progress with my Forever Buddy Whip. This is the page that I'm doing with Kate, the wonderful patient Kate. And this is Mythographic Voyage by Joseph Cattenbang, and that is how far I have got so far. I think I've maybe done like 2 leaves since last time. Do love how I think sometimes when I'm really happy with how a page is going, I start to get a bit nervous at the halfway point that I'm gonna mess it up, and things can really stall for me at that point. So yeah, I am having a blast, really enjoying myself, and that's the main thing that sometimes we do forget. Hope you've enjoyed the completed pages. What have you guys been colouring? What have you been up to? I do have the new community feature turned on where you guys can post onto my onto my community feed, so you can add the pages that you're working on. I'd love to see posts of your pages. Love to see if you've done any of the same books as me, or if you've followed any of my colour alongs and you've done pages. Please share them on my YouTube community tab. I'd love to see them, love to check them out. Everyone's welcome. Even if you've just got a question or you want to chat, chuck it up on there. I will be on there. I will check, I will chat, I will check out your pictures. And other than that, guys, have a fabulous week, and I'll see you in the next one.